Warning, this game is a horror porn. This game contains disturbing content that's not suitable for most audiences. No matter how hot the guys are, you're still gonna get traumatized. Also, it's only meant for a mature audience, so viewers' discretion is advised. Hello everybody, my name is Lionel, and welcome back to Boyfriend to Death. Today we are gonna be coming back to Rarr's route, so hey, I hope you guys are ready for that. Let's get into it, shall we? Maybe I won't drink tonight. I'll just listen to some music at this lounge. What do you mean I'm not drinking tonight? I'm always up for a good drink. I better dress classy for this place. I don't want to stick out. I walked into the lounge and watched beautiful women on stage sing for the patrons. I chose the table and took a seat. It felt like there were eyes on my back, but I couldn't put a finger on where it was coming from. Good evening. I nearly flew out of my chair at the sound of a man's voice near my ear. Hello! I turned to the handsome man near me and I let out a shuddering breath. What was my problem? It's not like I haven't seen this man before. Enjoying the music? Yeah, it's very nice. Oh, how rude of me. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Rarr. And you are? Well, my name is Lionel. It's very nice to meet you, good sir. The pleasure is mine. I looked at Rarr, who seemed to be enjoying the drink in his hand. There was something about him that was different than other men. See something interesting? I snapped out of my haze and looked at Rarr, who was looking at me now. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to stare. Don't worry. It's flattering. Not drinking tonight? No, I'm trying to spend at least one night without a drink in my hand. I laughed gently and Rarr looked back at the stage. It's for the best. Livers can only take so much. Yeah, I don't want to give mine any more of a pounding. Rarr lets out a smooth laugh. Interesting choice of words. I felt myself getting a bit redder. Is it obvious that I don't belong yet? Don't worry. I won't tell a soul. Are you from around here? No, I'm not. Speaking of which, I must be off to find a hotel room to stay in for the night. Huh. You're leaving already? I have an extra room. You can always stay with me, or I can help you look if you like. Yeah, I guess I can help him look. It's fine. But I can find my way around the city. I guess so, but... Huh? Would you like to spend some extra time with me? Yeah, if you want to come to my place. I thought you would never ask. My house wasn't far away from the lounge. Rarr kept a firm arm around my shoulders as I leaned up against him. How did it turn out this way? I shouldn't question it. This was nice. Come on in, make yourself at home. I opened my door and Rarr pushed me against the wall. Oh my god, straight up Rarr XD. I could feel the breath leave my lips as he pushed against me, pressing his lips against mine. I hope you don't mind. Oh my god. Wait, what are you doing? Yes, I want more, or I want this too. I'm gonna go for... Wait, what are you doing? I put my hands on his shoulders to push him away, but I just yanked him closer. I wanted to say no, but my mouth wouldn't let me. I pushed my fingers into his hair and felt his hands around my hips lifting me up. I made a panic sound, but was quickly replaced with his lips over mine again. Let's go to my room. Rarr moved his head in the direction I pointed and let me down as he loosened his cravat. I felt his hands on my shoulders as he pushed me on the bed. Something didn't feel right, but I pushed the feelings aside as I pushed his vest off. Eager little puppy. Oh my god, he's got the happy trail. Yes! Why was he wearing sunglasses inside anyway? I'm gonna take him off. I'm gonna take off his sunnies. Oh god! I pulled his sunglasses off and two yellow eyes looked back at me. Was I dreaming? Ah, little human. You shouldn't have done that. Rarr put his hand around my throat and pushed down. He kept moving his hips, but this hand around my throat was too strong. Good night. Everything faded to black as he grinned, his pointed teeth showing. I woke the next day. Was I in a dream? I tried to move my body from the bed and felt my wrist snap up. I was trapped. I should thank you. My head snapped as I looked around for the familiar voice that spoke to me. For making it so easy for me. What are you doing here? Why am I tied up? I could feel my breath speed up as I looked at him. He kept that smirk on his face. You seem confused. Let me enlighten you. I got bored from time to time. Rarr leaned over me with a larger grin and all of his pointed teeth showing. And little humans like you are fun to toss around. What do you keep calling me a human? What do you want from me, or what are you if you're not human? What do you want from me? Nothing that you won't give me eventually. Congratulations, you've just met a demon. Rarr slid his sunglasses down and showed off his yellow eyes. I took a deep breath and bit my lips. I have to leave you for now, little human. Rarr put his hands on my face and slid them away gently. Is it Rarr or Rire? Be good. Or Rire? Rarr? Rurr? Ree! He smirked and... Man, my English is all over the place right now. He smirked and disappeared. Rarr left me alone on the bed. Was it Rire? Like, kind of like Riley. I have no idea. I twisted my wrist a few times. This was no good. I pulled my arm out instead. Surprisingly, he didn't tie them tight enough. A part of me questioned if this was a trick or not, but I did have time to think about it. I threw on whatever I could find and bolted down the stairs. I need something to defend myself with. Where should I go? Oh, front door. I ran to the front door and pulled on the knob. It's locked. I turned quickly to him and a tentacle snaked around my waist. It threw me into the living room. I felt a long tentacle around my waist drag me across the ground. Gosh darn it, Rarr is now my favorite. He slapped my face a few times and walked away. I pulled my clothes together and looked at the stairs. I limped to my bed to put new clothes on. I put on a robe and looked at myself. I felt like a mess. What should I do? I will take a shower. After what just happened, I just wanted to feel cleaner. I turned on the water and stepped inside. The warm water felt good against my skin and I closed my eyes. My muscles relaxed and I took a deep breath. It was nice. I stepped out of water and into Rarr's arms. Ooh, wait, what? Hello there, little human. I just wanted to take a damn shower, Rarr. Rarr placed his hands on my shoulders and leaned in. You smell nice and clean now. I could feel his breath on my shoulder and I shuddered. Does that excite you? Even after everything? I will deny. Of course not. I just felt grossed out by you. I pushed past him and stormed to my bedroom. I was surprised he didn't drag me back. Maybe he had his fill for today. I flopped on my bed and slept angrily. Just straight up. I don't appreciate these damn tentacles all up in my face. My eyes fluttered open and I felt a heavy arm around me. I slowly turned in my bed and looked at the person in bed with me. Rarr! He smirked at me and pushed up his sunglasses. What's wrong, Lionel? Aren't you a demon? What? What are you talking about? How drunk were you last night? I could feel myself staring at him in disbelief. What did he mean? Did you have a nightmare? You were rolling around in your sleep last night. I looked down at my hands and then back at him. Was that a nightmare? I scooted away from him, pulling my blankets up defensively. What's wrong? Meh, I'll accept it. That's nothing. Really? That's all? Rarr sighed as he climbed over me. He pushed my arm above my head and grinned. All his sharp teeth flashed at me. Little human, you're too easy. Tentacles burst out of his back and I twisted my wrists. Nani? You think something like this could have been a dream? Rarr's tentacles pushed into my mouth and dragged along. It felt like cement filling my throat and stomach. He ran his hands along my hair and I felt the tentacles stroke at my insides. I coughed as much as I could and I started to tremble. Goodbye. He grinned wickedly as his tentacles ripped through me and my stomach. Rarr thought you were too Excuse me! Dude, I thought that would have gotten rid of you! God damn it! Okay, I'm gonna keep questioning him. I could have sworn that you had... Had what? Oh, gosh. I was sure I saw yellow eyes. What about these bruises? What about your teeth? What about these bruises? What about them? You seemed to like having a bit of rough fun, so I indulged you. I wasn't sure how much I believed him. I rubbed my bruises and looked up at him. What is it? I don't believe you. Even if I did want that, I wouldn't be in this much pain. Oh, You're in pain. Tentacles burst out of his back and twist around my neck, pushing hard. I could put you in more if that's what you want. I grabbed the tentacles around my neck and kicked my feet. I tried to pull at the long cords around me. You are quite entertaining, little human. Rarr's tentacles picked me off the bed and slammed me into the wall. Ow! I will keep you alive, just a bit longer. The tentacles receded into his back, and he walked away laughing. I knew I couldn't trust him. I rubbed my neck and crawled back on my bed to catch my breath. I waited a long while, curled up, and tried to convince myself that this was some sort of crazy dream. I'm not sure how long I sat alone, but I realized now that my house was perfectly quiet. I raised my head. Did he leave? I gulped and gathered my courage, then pushed myself up from my bed. Hello? I listened. Nothing. Rarr? Something seemed wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on it. It was just too quiet. I tiptoed to my bedroom door and then looked into the living room. It was filled with the same eerie silence. Rarr? My loud question almost frightened myself. I realized what was wrong. It was the silence. It was too perfect. I couldn't hear anything aside from myself. No cars driving by, no refrigerator hum, absolutely nothing. I peeked into the kitchen. I should be glad that Rarr was gone, but I couldn't stop the feeling of unease. I took a few deep breaths. Maybe it's just my house. I'll go outside, somewhere else. I approached the front door and turned the knob. I looked outside and I felt my throat close up. It was my bedroom. No, that didn't make sense. I slammed the door. The noise tore through the heavy silence. I stared at it, then opened it again. It can't be. This can't be happening. Try to catch my breath, staring into my bedroom from my front door. I clutched my head. I'm still dreaming. I have to be! I heard a low chuckle. I swung around, trying to find the source. It was close, but everywhere. I will ignore the laugh. No. Nah, I can't let this get to me. I'm just having some kind of episode, hallucination, something. Maybe I ate something or fell. I closed the door. I tightened my grip on the knob, trying to focus on what felt real. Closed my eyes, then choked. The knob shattered in my hand. What? I looked down at my empty hand, then at the untouched, intact doorknob. I was shaking. I felt it. I touched the knob. Cold metal. It was perfectly fine. It's just a doorknob. I felt myself fighting not to cry. I'll go to my room, under the covers. This will go away. I began retracing my steps, heading back to my bedroom. I kept my head down, then glanced to my bedroom door. I stared. Did I get turned around? I looked around the living room, then stared at the blank wall where my bedroom door was supposed to be. My knees were shaking. I couldn't help but cry in frustration. God damn it, stop it, Rarr! I fell to the floor and held my arms close. I yelled out again into the silence. Leave me alone! Okay, let's see. Should I confront Rarr? Or wake up? Grab a brush and put on a little makeup. I rubbed my arms and looked down at my knees. I have to wake up. I squeezed my arms harder, then looked up. I just have to wake up. I braced myself against the wall and shakily stood up. I was dizzy. It felt like the room was tilting under me. Just have to. I stumbled slowly into the kitchen, then threw my weight against the countertop. Here. It's in here. I slid the drawer open and slammed my hand inside. The metal objects in the drawer clinked and scraped against each other with my clumsy efforts. Finally, I withdrew my shining ticket out of this nightmare. A knife. Oh no! Just a pinch. I swayed on my feet and held the blade tightly, then plunged it into my thigh. A hand slipped over mine, keeping the blade in place. A body pressed up against my back, spoke into my ear. Oh, little human. I didn't think you'd go through such lengths to get out. The voice shocked me into silence when I would have cried out. The pain tearing through my leg and the blood running over my thigh cleared my mind. But the hand and the body pressed against me kept me frozen in place. If you wanted something deep inside... No! He pushed the knife deeper into my leg. Oh, okay, that's fine. You could have just asked. I held the countertop, then whimpered, trying not to scream. I didn't. This is not what I wanted. Like, no mas. This is not what I consented to, Rarr. Didn't what? He pushed me hard into the counter, the knife hitting bone, one hand grabbing my chin and forcing my head to look up at him. I cried out and tried to fall forward, but his grip kept me in place. I just wanted to stop! I sobbed, unable to keep calm. You got your wish. He pulled the knife sharply out my leg and tossed me on the ground. You should be more careful with knives. He licked the blood off the blade and tossed it into the wall. I tried to get up, but I was shaking too much. Rarr slowly approached me and pressed his heel into my open wound. I stopped moving and groaned in pain. He dug into the cut and grinned. Stop! Please! Oh, you want me to stop? Rarr picked up his shoe and leaned back. Let me try something else. The tentacle shot off his back and loomed for a moment. It reached into my wound and dug its way into my muscle. I screamed and dug my elbows into the floor. The agony was blinding. The tentacles worked its way around my bone and held onto it tight as if it's dragging me towards him. I could only let out a slow, pained moan as I felt the floor slide under me, just straight up. Rarr stepped on my arm and leaned in. Is that better? I tried to speak, fighting through hoarse gasps as I felt the thick tentacle in my leg. No? I writhed and sobbed out my answer. No! Of course it isn't! Take it out, for the love of God, please! I won't be doing that. More thin tendrils burst from Rarr's back, then pierced into my skin. I screamed as my body tensed, then pushed deep into my muscles and snaked their way up my bones. The sensation was overwhelming and sickening. The tips forced their way out of my skin and weaved back under. My body sank into shock, and I couldn't make it react. The tentacles pulled in opposite directions, ripping my muscle away from the bone. You are so soft. I was vaguely aware of wet tearing sounds. Blood sprayed around the entire room. I only saw the scene with surreal detachment for a moment, before I was no longer aware of anything. Rarr thought I was soft? Are all the endings based on what Rarr thinks of me? Your impression of me does not determine who I am, Rarr. Like, hell no! Okay, let's see what happens if I say yes. I just wanted some mercy. Yes, it's better. I cried quietly and kept my head down. That's great. He placed a firm hand on my leg, feeling the tentacle moving under my skin. It slid out of my wound and Rarr looked at the blood. I tried to move, but I found that I couldn't tell my body what to do anymore. My pain was beginning to fade. Nothing left then. I tried to answer him. Nothing came out. Well, that was unfortunate. Humans are so fragile. You couldn't hold your own. Ah, god damn it. Okay, this time I'm gonna see what happens if I confront Rarr. No, I had to face this. I stood back up. Rarr! Rarr, I know you're doing this to me. I breathed hard and looked around quickly. Where are you? I'm right here. Something shoved me. I yelped in surprise. Are you learning my tricks, little human? I tried to stand straight and look him in the eyes. I know what you're doing. I hope he couldn't see me sweating or my knees starting to shake. Do you? What is that? He loomed over me, leaning in, examining my features. You're trying to make me crazy. Took a deep breath. It won't work. I believe it already is. Tentacles came from his back and wrapped around my wrists, dragging me over to him. I gasped and pulled against him, but it didn't seem to affect him at all. They held me up high as he rubbed his hands on my stomach. Did you think I didn't notice you stumbling about, screaming at nothing? I squirmed under his touch, looking over to the side. The tentacles dropped me on the ground, and he stepped on my head. Like I said, I'll break you yet. I laid in a heap and coughed. He cast me one glance and walked away. Damn it. I closed my eyes. My eyes opened slowly as I looked around my living room. I shifted and everything was sore. I was sure that this time, the nightmare I've been living was real. Good morning, little human. Rarr sat across the room from me with his legs crossed. Our time together is drawing to a close. I don't have time to play with you any longer. What do you mean by that? But I have one final game to play with you. I looked at him tiredly. I didn't think I could take any more games. What is it? My voice was still hoarse and tired. Rarr chuckled and put his hand out. I'm giving you one more chance to get away. How fast can you run? His voice dropped to a more serious tone. If I catch you, I'll kill you. My eyes widened and I trembled slowly, getting to my feet. Don't worry. I'll walk at a nice brisk pace just for you. Rarr slowly walked into the kitchen, giving me one more side glance as he went. God damn it, I'm saving here. Okay, run to the bathroom. Wait, this is a terrible idea. I ran to the bathroom and shut the door. My eyes darted around the room. There wasn't anywhere to hide in here. I watched as the faucets in the shower start to spin and gush water into the bathtub. I need to get out of here. I shook the door and it wouldn't open. I was trapped. The water was pouring out impossibly fast. I could hear the water overflow in the tub and spill onto the floor. The door suddenly burst open and Rarr grabbed my neck with a tentacle. Found you. Rarr lifted me off the ground and walked over to the bathtub. I could feel him softly splashing through the water on the bathroom floor. You lose, little human. He pushed me through the glass of my shower door and into the tub. I yelled out in pain as shards of glass lodged into my skin and face. My cry was cut short as I was plunged below the surface of the cold water. I struggled against him, scratching at the tentacle as he held me underneath the water. I screamed again, under the surface in despair, and I took in a deep breath of water. It was too strong. My panic flailing began to slow down. The water was tinged pink with my blood, and I thought I could hear Rarr chuckling. The liquid filled my senses and I couldn't think anymore. You died. Rarr drowned you. Okay, I'm running to the kitchen. I rushed into the kitchen and ran right into Rarr! Are you following me? Rarr grinned as he shoved the tentacle through my chest. I want to have fun, but I put my hand on the tentacle and looked at Rarr. He patted my cheek gently. You've proven to be none of that. I coughed up blood and closed my eyes. You followed Rarr to the kitchen! Gosh freaking darn it. Okay, I will run to the attic. I raced up the stairs and looked at the string that hid the attic ladder. Maybe he wouldn't find me if I just hide the string. I grabbed the rope and tugged it down. I carefully climbed up the rungs, ignoring the pain in my body. You know, this seems like a terrible idea. I pulled the ladder back up after me, bringing the rope in after me. I slowly slid myself across the floor, trying to keep as quiet as I could. I pulled my knees up to my chest and listened. I could hear Rarr walking around in the room below me. His footsteps growing faint as he seems to walk in the other direction. I sighed softly, feeling a small amount of relief. It was cut short as I felt myself being lifted off the ground and my windpipe being crushed. Tis. I guess I should have told you this area was off limits. I let out a soft gasp, grabbing at his arm. Time's up. Rarr pushed me at one of the windows in the room. I felt my back hit the glass as he pressed me into the wall. Wait! I could barely choke as I could feel my back smash through the window. I sailed down 3 stories looking at Rarr. He put his hand up and grinned as I heard my neck snap, hitting the ground. Rarr pushed you out the window. God damn it, I need a better hiding place. Okay, I will stay in this room. My heart was pounding. What kind of sick game was this? I squeezed my eyes shut and tried to calm down, to concentrate. He said he'd kill me if... I stopped and listened. I could hear footsteps. I needed to move. I knew he was getting closer. Stay in the room. I dove behind the couch and curled up tight. I stopped moving and tried to listen. I had to take a moment to calm down enough to hear anything over my own pounding heart. Couldn't hear anything. He must be somewhere else right now. Stay in the room. I quickly closed the door behind me and leaned up against it. I tried to keep my breath steady. Closing the door doesn't count as hiding. Ah, god damn it! My eyes shut open as I heard a loud bang. I slowly looked down at my chest at a sharp tentacle poking through. I felt the tentacle pull through the door and out of me. I felt my body hit the ground. Rarr found... God damn it. So I gotta find another way to actually escape him. But staying in the room is a good choice. Okay, I will run to kitchen. I slowly moved around the couch. Was it over? I felt my body shaking and looked tiredly around. Let my body relax. It wasn't. Soon after, as the tentacle thrust through my back, bursting out of my chest. Well, little human, I don't have time for you anymore. Rarr moved in front of me and smirked. Perhaps you should try harder next time. He threw me into the wall and the tentacle followed soon after. The last thing I felt was a sharp point pushing into my skull. Rarr lost interest. If he lost interest, just let me go. God damn it. Okay, I had to go back to make a couple of different choices. One of them is apparently getting dinner, and there's a whole different CG to it too, so I'm gonna show it to you guys. I walked downstairs. I smelled something really good down here. I walked into the kitchen to see Rarr at a table with 2 plates of fancy-looking steak dinner. What are you doing? I made dinner. He grinned, all of his pointed teeth showing. Well, I guess I'll accept dinner. I sat down and he slid the plate in front of me. Thank you. Of course. Can't have you starving now. Rarr sat across from me, sipping tea and looking in a small book. I tentatively cut a small piece of meat and put it into my mouth. It tasted great. This is actually really good. Thank you. That is very sweet. I didn't trust him at all, but I was really hungry and ate the rest of my food. Suddenly, something occurred to me. I don't recall buying steak. I got up and ran back upstairs to bed. It occurred to me that he hadn't even touched his own plate of food. I didn't want to think about what that meat could have been. All right, now we'll just run back to the chase sequence, shall we? All right, we're back in the chase sequence. Here we go. Stay in this room. My heart was pounding. What kind of sick game was this? I squeezed my eyes shut and tried to calm down. I have to concentrate. He said he'd kill me if... I stopped and listened. I could hear footsteps. I needed to move. I knew it was getting closer. Staying here, I dove behind the couch and curled up tight. I stopped moving and tried to listen. I had to take a moment to calm down enough to hear anything over my pounding heart. I couldn't hear anything. He must be somewhere else right now. Okay, time to go to the kitchen. I put my head out. I couldn't even hear Rarr walking around anymore. Maybe he finally got bored of me. I felt a tentacle wrap around my ankle and drag me across the floor. Found you. I struggled against the tentacle and he flipped me over, pinning my arms to the ground. This game is over. The tentacles moved across my body and forced their way inside of me. God damn it! Rarr sighed and shook his head. Maybe if we were a bit more interesting, I would give you another chance. My eyes widened as I felt the tentacles shift. They started to pull in opposite directions. I let out a muffled scream as the tentacle ripped me apart. Wait! What do you mean I wasn't entertaining enough? And wait! Hang on! What? Okay, apparently I got one of the choices wrong, so we're back in the chase sequence, okay? Stay in the living room. Alright, stay in the living room. And go to the kitchen. I looked around and saw that Rarr wasn't around anymore. I tilted my head up, aiming my ears at the ceiling. No more footsteps. I slowly shifted out of my spot. Was it over? I could hear clapping near me and I jumped to the side. Good job, little human. I watched as those black tentacles shot off his back and stabbed into my arms and legs. I let out a scream as they pulled me closer to Rarr. I was starting to feel nauseous as he grabbed my chin. Ah! Let me go! I flailed uselessly as the tentacles kept me in place. Still have the fire in you. A tentacle lashed out and smacked me hard across the back. Rarr washed my face in pain as I growled at him. I'm not giving in to you. I wasn't going to give up. Oh? How about this? The tentacles reeled back and smacked me across the back again. I let out a shriek and glared at him. I was starting to breathe hard. I could feel the blood running down my back. I want to offer you an opportunity. To live. I felt the lash across my back again. It will not cost that much. Just the small price of your soul. And I'll release you from this agony. No! Rarr's tentacles put me back and struck me again. Are you quite sure? Well, this is where we get the choice whether we live or die. So, hey, I'm gonna deny it first. I'd rather die. Rarr smirked at me as I felt my eyes closing. Perhaps you're the winner of this round. I coughed up blood and let my muscles relax. My prize sucks. Everything faded away as I felt my consciousness leave me. You got your prize. Oh, man. All right, let's live. Let's live. I agree. I couldn't last any longer like this. I bit my lip and looked at the side. Fine. Fine, I accept. I yelled at the top of my lungs as he grinned. Contractus signati. You're mine now. He pressed his fingers into my jaw, holding it open as a tentacle slipped past my lips. The best way to get it is through the throat. Everything went black as I felt like I was floating. What was this feeling? I pressed my hand against glass that surrounded me. Look at you, little human. I could hear Rarr's voice as I looked into a mirror. I was just a bottle. How was this even possible? See? Now you can stay in my collection. Forever. What? No! I banged my fist against the glass and screamed. No voice came out. We never did specify a condition of living. Rarr gently kissed the bottle and placed it on the shelf. Enjoy yourself. You survived. To what life? Oh, God. Anyway, that was Boyfriend to Death. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like the previous episode, unfortunately, I can't really leave the link in the description. But hey, if you guys want to play this for yourself, I'm sure you can find it somewhere out there on the internet. I mean, it is a wide place out there. Anyway, I hope you all have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll be seeing you in the next one, where we will be covering, I believe his name was Sano or Akira. Who knows? We'll see you guys in the next one. This is Lionel, signing off. Ciao.